I feel like Elon Musk with a rocket launch. You have to wait for the right weather, right, in order to get permission for takeoff. And I'll say to you that we are in that weather mode of waiting for the perfect storm, so to speak, to launch and release all of our features. We actually have a checklist, if you want to have an idea to understand what goes behind the scenes, of about 327 items that we have to go through for quality control before we release everything. And until we do, we're not going to, but we're literally in that day-to-day mode of doing that. And so again, for those of you that I know here for the first time, I do want to make sure you have some context. And just so you know that we've launched about 100 days ago with 3 of the most innovative features in the webinar industry in history. One where we can take any website in the world and make it completely interactive for up to 600 people at the same time with no integration, no setup, no download required. That's still our foundational introduction. That makes us quite different than, let's call it, Zoom with a buy button. The second foundational feature is that we can do the same thing in a recording. That even though you're not there, that you can literally turn the pages on a website, take people where you want to go, and at any time you want, direct them to take action, as I said, even though you're not there. And the third feature that was also revolutionary was that you can create multiple invite links to the same meeting. And those invite links obviously can track the customers that come in through those invite links, which even though other companies can't do multiple invite links to the same meeting, but we went one step further, where we actually can track those customers to the replicated or affiliate sites of the people who sent those invite links out, so they get credit for the sale instead of the host. So how do you go beyond that? How do you go beyond 3 things that are so revolutionary only 100 days ago? Or even better yet, why even try? It's funny, I had a demo today with somebody who's been in software for 25 years. And after the demo, he was invited by somebody who's on tonight named Tim. I got a text from Tim who said, the gentleman said that was the best demo he's ever seen in 25 years of any software program. And so I was thinking to myself, why are we taking on more? Can we just stop with that as a win? Well, I think by the attendance tonight, we know we're not going to stop. And so there's a couple of things that I do want to show you. Can't show you all of it tonight, but we will. And I also go back to, I know the number one request, of live voice translations. I'm going to show you a few things about that tonight. I'm going to show you a few things about AI, and I'm going to show you the new platform. And so let me start off by sharing my screen and showing you, which I think many of you have seen, right, is our back office, right? Let me move this out of my way. And many of you may have seen in the lower right-hand corner more than just changing a look and feel, which of course we're proud of, but we actually introduced our first AI agent tool. Well, I want you to know this AI agent tool is actually really only a holding place. That in order to have an effective AI tool, it's not just integrating it into your dashboard or integrating it into your database so that it knows who you are, but it's training it. And that's what we've been doing for another 2 weeks. And in the next 20, 40, 48 hours, you're going to see the result of a trained AI agent versus the one that we put in. But just to give you an example of what this can do, let's see if we can just connect it for a second.
Hello, my name is Sammy. I'm a demo voice assistant in Pitch. What's your name?
Hey, Sammy, I'm Steve. How are you?
Hi, Steve. I'm doing great. Thanks for asking. How can I help today?
Hey, I'm driving in my car and I was wondering if you can set up a meeting for me.
Absolutely, Steve. I can set up a meeting for while you're on the road. What should I call this meeting?
The best meeting ever.
Got it. The best meeting ever. What day and time works for you, Steve?
How about December 15th, 2 p.m.?
All right, December 15th at 2 p.m. How long should the meeting last, Steve?
About an hour.
Perfect, 1 hour. And just to confirm, what time zone are you in, Steve? You can tell me your city or just the time zone abbreviation.
Eastern time zone.
Thanks, Steve. Just to be sure, you mean Eastern time, like New York? That would be America/new_York. Is that right?
You got it. So again, I'm not going to take you through the whole exercise. I just wanted to show you how interactive and personal you think this version is. Wait till you see the next version. But I want you to know that every single functionality that you can do manually is what we're training it to do on the fly. And not just about scheduling, also about telling you the status of your subscriptions, upgrading you, downgrading you, about your rewards commissions, what you need to do to get to the next level to qualify if any of your customers haven't renewed yet. Then we're also going to have it in the academy for training on the commissions. If you want to understand how the commission engine works, if you want to understand why you weren't paid what you thought you were paid, or why you were paid too much would even be better. Those are the things I'm saying that agent is going to be able to do. So number one, there's an AI agent created for the administrative part. The second part will be, which has been much more difficult to train, as you can imagine, is the AI agent that will actually go in your meetings. I want you to think of yourselves of having a personal assistant now when you're doing live meetings, and even, as I say, the personal assistant to do the meetings when you're not there. So imagine when you're doing that presentation and that person wants to get started, but you did it in a recording, that person will be able to assist them in signing them up. That is actually more complicated and a little bit why we're holding it up, because the last thing I want to do is introduce something and then you tell me that AI agent screwed it up. My recording had him sold and you didn't do that. So again, this is what I meant about more than 327 things to change. So second thing that I want to show you tonight is actually the new platform itself. And one of the things about this platform that I think is critical, and we're still tweaking it, and also the thing I can't show you tonight is the mobile experience, which actually I'm the most excited about. But right here in this button, right up here in the corner, is where you're able to change the views. And so that to me is the most important experience at all. So you'll be able to go from meeting view to webinar view, eliminating people, speaker view only, any experience that you ever wanted to be on a webinar, you're in charge as the host. You'll be able to have that experience. Also, your screen sharing buttons here on the bottom. Right now, you can literally just, same way you did before, cut and paste, type in, start sharing. But I hope you can really see the difference here of no longer is it look like we have a webinar on one side and an interactive website on the other. We have actually built the interactive screen inside the webinar itself. So notice it doesn't look like two halves that are tied together. It now is a completely seamless experience. And even when you're going to manipulate it, the audience can't see this. They're still seeing the full screen view, and you still go back and forth between standard and interactive or changing the URL on the fly, just the way you did before, and the same thing that you can do in Google presentations. To me, quite honestly, out of all the things we're introducing, this is the most important because this is core to who we are and what we're doing. So again, and the same experience on mobile. And sometimes mobile, you want to see the people. Maybe sometimes on mobile, you want to see just the screen. You'll have those options in that respect at all. Okay? Next thing I want to show you, and I think you may find this somewhat interesting. So earlier today, I took a snapshot picture, and I know there's a lot of conversations about avatars. In fact, the biggest conversation I had about avatars yesterday was with Harry, right? Who actually went to a 3-day seminar, which not all 3 days, but a huge part on AI and avatars. So I want to show you what I was able to do simply from snapping a picture and then turning it into this.
Ciao, sono Peter, uno dei tuoi partner per il successo con Pitch e ti do il benvenuto alla sessione formativa iniziale. Ti Ti prometto che imparerai con facilità, proprio come il nostro servizio di...
Now, for those of you that you know I have enough trouble trying to learn Spanish, certainly didn't learn Italian, and I can actually turn this into 155 different languages. But what's amazing is that if you look at the body movement, the face movement, this isn't just a lip synced avatar. This becomes almost a realistic version of yourself, which again, for those of you that are saying, how is this going to integrate into the webinar? Because we have recorded interactive webinars, unlike other people who are doing the avatar business, this has an incredibly unusual application. And also, when you're recording this, you can choose multiple languages at the same time, so you don't have to actually go in 20 times every time you want to do a language. You merely can do that at the touch of a button. But as I always say, we try to do things a little more than what someone else can do. And what is our mantra? What is our core mission here, right? If we turned a webinar interactive, how can we turn an avatar into interactive? So let me see if this will work today if my Wi-Fi is good enough for this. Let's see how this is going to work today.
Steve, while you're doing that, the same questions come up a couple times. If you want your screen to be bigger, put your cursor in the top right-hand corner, and you'll see 3 dots. Click those 3 dots, and that'll take you to full screen and maximum screen.
Correct. You can go full screen. But remember, that's going to be yesterday's solution, not tomorrow.
Hello, I can see you clearly, and you look great. You have short, slightly wavy hair and are wearing glasses, which gives you a smart and stylish appearance. How are you doing today?
I'm actually doing very well today. Could you please say hello to all my friends?
That's wonderful to hear. Hello to all your friends. It's great to connect with everyone. I hope you're all having a fantastic day.
Can you actually say it in Spanish as well?
Hola a todos sus amigos. Es genial conectar con todos ustedes. Y por que estén teniendo un día fantástico.
Thank you very much for helping me today. I'm going to go back to the meeting, but I hope to see you again soon.
You're very welcome. I'm glad I could help. Good luck with your meeting, and I look forward to seeing you again soon. Take care.
Thank you. What do you guys think of that so far?
That's amazing.
It really is amazing, isn't it?
Beautiful.
Hey,
All
Carl,
I have
you
to
want
say is, wow, again.
Yeah, I'm saying I know there's a couple of companies out there that are in the avatar business, but we're in the webinar business. And so I want you to know that's not going to be a recording outside of your webinar. That will be a live and interactive person inside your webinar as your assistant, as somebody doing it for you. And yes, you can do a twin. I didn't have time to do that today. Again, I don't advocate it personally. That's a business strategy perspective. But from the technology perspective, I definitely wanted to show you that we are the first webinar company to create that seamless, not embedded look in an interactive scenario today. And I also wanted to show you the first interactive, and then hopefully in the next few days, and I know especially for Phil, that international language perspective, which I was testing with and playing today, I could tell you is pretty phenomenal. And again, it's a product for the 5%ers. I don't know how many people are building all over the world, but I think there'll be many use cases outside of direct sales for that as well. And we're not building a product for affiliate or direct selling. We're building a product for the world. And so if you're going to build a product for the world, you got to be able to speak to the world in every language. And so very excited. And there's more that I'd like to show you, but I really want you to experience it more than me show it. And so what we're going to do is we'll notify you when we're going to do the switch over to the platform. Now that you've kind of seen it, we changed it a lot since last Thursday in terms of that user experience. So I wanted to make it more intuitive. I wanted to make it more similar, where the buttons are, where they find it. so people don't go into that shock of, I just got used to your 100-day-old platform, and now after 100 days, you know, it's like when you change somebody's cash rewards program. I didn't want to change where all the buttons were. And so we did that as well. And then we'll be, as opposed to waiting to introduce all the products and services, we will be doing things incrementally. But I did want to especially show you the AI agent. The AI summary reports are also done. You'll be able to choose that with every single meeting. But we're really tying in the AI reports into the AI agent for actions, because I don't believe that people want information as much as call to actions for follow-up. So with that, Harry, I'll turn it back over to you to navigate the rest of the meeting.
All right, great. I have a question. There's not anybody has a question, put it in the chat. But the question I have is today, we did a demo and you mentioned upcoming the CRM attachment. Could you potentially touch base on the functionality when we're doing a meeting with like 30, 40 people in it? Tell us about that.
Yeah, the CRM to me is the last thing that we're introducing and the most critical, because the CRM is what makes the AI agents smart, or the interactive avatars smart. So for instance, you've set up a meeting. You've got 300 people on the meeting. Now, because you have a CRM and an AI avatar or interactive agent potentially that can take action live during the meeting and after the meeting, that CRM will categorize people for you. Because what are you going to say? I want to send a text to, 73 people. So that CRM will group people for you, organize people for you. So as opposed to saying, I want to send a text to everyone on the call, maybe I want to send a text to everyone in certain categories. And so when it comes to social media posting, you want a CRM so you can see when people are playing your recorded videos, are they watching it? Critical, right? When social media posting, are they clicking on it? And our AI social media posting too we were testing it, for a very long period of time. And we actually had the idea of creating a URL and creating social media posts based on companies' URLs. Actually, before it got introduced into the marketplace, that's one of those where we started out as the first person to come up with it. And then it's out there in the universe. And before we launch it, other people do that. And then the technology, changed so dramatically on what Sora is able to do and other platforms to create videos and so we went from being first with the idea to not first to market to now reinventing our AI social media posting. So we are state of the art. And so you'll be able to create more than just a cute social media post with a picture of a grapefruit on the beach, but you'll be able to create anything that your imagination can do. And you could now ask your AI agent to do it for you. And so, like I say, we're the only company after 100 days that decided to change the core basic platform and introduce every feature known to man that could make the webinar better. So it's almost like I want to be congratulated and apologize at the same time that we're trying to do so much in such a short period of time. And I want to just make sure that when you're touching it, that the questions you ask me is how to make it more effective, not why I don't understand how it works. And so we're now at the launch pad. We're that close.
These are exciting features that are coming, Steve. And I know that I appreciate all the effort that you and the team are doing behind the scenes to make our life easier and our job easier. There are a couple of questions. I'm going to bring up one here. It says, how far into the process or funnels are they going? I don't understand that question, but maybe you do.
Well, we considered creating our own funnel system, like a Go High Level, like a ClickFunnels in that perspective. And that's one of those areas where I think there's people smarter than us, that we want to be integrated into other people's funnels than trying to compete with the people who know that better. That's always the fine line. What should we own and what should we be complementary to someone else? And I think the funnel system is such a high expertise, and I have such respect for that I think we need to learn from them, how we can support them the way I've learned how to support the insurance industry, now the real estate industry, now the educational market. When we started with this, I didn't have a concept of those businesses other than as a customer. And I think it's the same thing with the funnel business. Is this is where I don't want to be the teacher. I want to be the student, and have the technology team support that on what they need, not what I think they need. So I hope that answers it.
It does for me. Awesome. I don't see any other questions in the chat. So what I want to share with everybody is this was a special event that here's one. So my question is, how are the visitors being grouped?
In a CRM, you have that choice as opposed to us. If you're related to that question, that's where we want to create that multifunctional perspective. It's almost like we want to have a dynamically changing CRM. And remember, also the critical thing about a CRM is that it exports into the CRM of someone else's choice. So if they're using Salesforce, if they're using HubSpot, we don't want them to have to give that up. We want to feed that and make it seamless in that perspective as well. So it's a dual purpose CRM. Work with every other CRM, just the way the CRM we want to work with Calendly and Google Meets and all the other calendars, even though we have our own scheduling system. That's the fine balance of how do we make it simple. It's funny, I had a call today with a guy in direct selling for 25, 30 years. He actually was in the first company that I was running, and I never met him and I never knew him. So it was one of those moments. And he said that he put 1,500 people into another technology company in the past 30 days. And he said out of 1,500 people, 1,499 don't know how to use the product. And the other person just doesn't have a purpose to use it. So he said, he goes, when I saw your technology today, he goes, the greatest compliment I could give you is I have a need for it. And so do my people in our organization. And after your demo, I think they can actually do it. Sometimes you don't have to, be the rocket ship. You just have to get people to the first floor. And I hope that our platform does both. There's some of you on this call tonight that are far more talented than I am about building a global organization. And I hope this tool supports you. And for the people that just want to talk to their friends and family and start organically, I hope you feel comfortable using it as well.